from Detroit, Michigan, USA. In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. And now, from the In My House Techno Music Show archives. So this is Detroit. Is that right, Mr. StAndy? Is this Detroit?
This is Detroit.
That's what your shirt say?
That's what it says.
All right, let's keep that mic face front. I know you're a DJ and you don't like to talk on the mic, do you?
No.
So listen, hi. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I just met you recently.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I see you got your bag and everything. You ready to mix and match, huh?
I wanted to drop some of my favorite tracks.
Oh, we gonna get you. We gonna bring you back so you can drop them, okay? We're gonna set that up. We're gonna arrange that. You're gonna bring your gear, and we're gonna get you doing that, okay?
Sounds great.
Cool. So let's talk about this motor legacy. So when I met you, matter of fact, we were down at Whiskey Disco, the techno night, and you were mixing, and I took a picture of you. I didn't even know who you were at the time when I was taking the picture, right? So I took the picture, put it up on Facebook, and Klaus was like, that's Motor. So tell me about the Motor legacy here.
It was funny, that track. It was just so funny. Klaus is like, he really liked that track. That track was like Derek Thompson, Soiree Records. We were in the studio, and I think we were doing multiples. We were doing the EP, and Derek ran off to get some phone calls or something, and he left me in the studio. I am not an engineer. I'm a DJ. So I was just playing with the board with some of the stuff that we just laid down, and I started doing something, and all of a sudden he walked in, he goes, what are you doing? That's not right. That's not right. I just had so much fun with that track. And that track, that's my voice, that's me everything, and I engineered it. I did everything on that track, and that track was so funny because it took about 20 minutes.
Wow.
And we recorded it.
Wow. Well, I was listening to it, and I noticed, I was actually listening to a few of your tracks. Thank you, D. Former, over in France, for sending me your music that I'm playing today. And I noticed you really have that techno Detroit industrial in your songs, in your tracks that you make. So what were some of the inspirations behind what you were doing?
It started off, my first time I ever DJ'd was at St. Andrews Hall, hence the nickname St. Andy.
I was going to ask you that too.
Okay, that's where I started. And I thank that all to Mike Halloran, who was a big DJ in Detroit at the time, and now he's out in San Diego. And we used to DJ on Sunday nights.
Okay.
And I just got into the industrial movement back in the early 80s, when the punk rock went to industrial, and like the Ministry and the Skinny Puppy and all the industrial house music. And then I was listening to a lot of the Chicago house, so it kind of mixed in. And by the time techno was created, I was in the basement with another friend of mine called Adam, and we were creating tracks that we didn't know what to do with. So that's how it started. Okay. And then it went on through the years, and after St. Andrews Hall, it just, I was playing at every club in the city.
I was going to say, you played quite a few spots.
In the early 80s, I was probably in a couple dozen clubs. There was a lot of clubs I was in. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could start naming them, but it would go on and on. I mean, Asylum, Industry, Menage, 3D. I opened that bar in Royal Oak. I mean, they just go on, and then I created a teen night. And the teen night was so successful that, all those teens back then followed me as I got older, and I moved out to California. I was living in San Diego. I was doing industrial nights out there with the house music mixed in. Mm-hmm. And then when I came back to Detroit, Motor, the guys who opened up Motor in Hamtramck, called me up, Dan Serdell, and they were like, we want you to come back. We want you to be the resident. We're going to open up this club. Come back and do the club. So I decided to move from San Diego, come back to Detroit to open up Motor. So that's where Derek and I reconnected.
Okay.
And he said, "You got to come into the studio. We got to start laying tracks."
Okay. So, in the time between California and back up until now, so you technically have never really stopped making music. Have you always made music, or did you take a break? What
I took a break. 1999, Millennium 2000 was when I stopped DJing live in clubs.
Okay.
Last time I DJed was in Miami Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I got married, had kids, and I wanted to spend time with my kids and my wife. And now it's been 12 to 15 years. So I've got some tracks, and I know Derek's listening, and we're going to come out with some new tracks, hopefully.
I got you. So back in the day when you DJ'd at the different disco, wow.
I wasn't a disco, Taboo. That was a great disco.
And you know what? I used to hang out at Taboo and Cheeks. I probably danced to you and didn't even know you was up there in the little corner somewhere. That was my spots right there. But when I met you at the Whiskey Disco. So based on what you used to see and what you see now, what are some of your thoughts about then and now in the club scenes?
The club scene has changed a lot. I mean, what I see now, it's like when I was at Motor, okay, and I was I was like the music coordinator or whatever at Motor when it first opened. So it was a martini bar. We had 3 rooms of entertainment. So when I came back from California, a lot of people say everything happens over in Europe, everything happens in California, and then it comes to the rest of the United States. Well, when I sat down with Dan and Steve Sowers, we talked about it, and I said, this is what we should do. All these DJs from Detroit are so big everywhere else but Detroit. Right. Okay, Derek May, Kevin Saunderson. You go on and on. Juan Atkins and, Richie Houghton. All these guys, they never play Detroit.
Right.
Okay, because the people here, they don't even know about the music. So I said, why don't we bring these guys in as guest DJs and, let them play? Well, no other club did it. So Motor started this thing back in the middle 90s. But from then until now, I just feel like clubs are so different right now. They're just, the music's different. It's not real. It's not, I haven't seen the clubs around that I used to come. But I'm married with kids, so I don't get out to the clubs anymore. If Derek calls me and says there's a soiree party, I show up. But that's about it. Right.
So let's talk about I've got a couple of tracks that I'm gonna play, a couple of little sample pieces of it. Malta Pills, the Cat Attack mix. Tell me about that name.
That was the Cat. He lives in France now. He is a mean bongo player. I just love the drums. I'm a drummer at heart. I've always played the drums, and I got him in the studio at Derek's house, and we just laid down some tracks, and he went crazy on the bongos. And you know what? It sounded so good, we laid it down.
Okay.
I just love that. I love the drums. I love the beat.
Okay. And like I said, a lot of your stuff is very industrial, and it has that drivetrain. How about that? It has hey, drivetrain. It has that drive that, and you watch the documentaries and they talk about where techno came from and all that. You have that. Was that a lot of where you got your ideas and concepts when you were making your tracks back then?
Yeah, I got the industrial in me.
Wow.
I had the goth, and then I moved to the house industrial. So I had the goth industrial, and then I moved to the house industrial.
Oh, that's an interesting combination.
And then when the Chicago Acid House came out, I didn't know where to go. And then the Acid House turned into the techno.
Okay.
And I think that's, Chicago had the Acid House going on, and the Detroit created the techno.
Right. Okay. So you were DJing before techno was techno, right?
Right. Well,
so
one club that I was at was called the Asylum.
Okay.
Was over on Broadway. And you know what? Our other club was on Broadway, directly across the street.
Yes.
That was the Music Institute.
The Music Institute.
So those guys used to come over to my side, and I used to go over to their side.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so cool because what I knew was going on over there, I wanted to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when Asylum closed, we moved across the street.
So you did play in the Music Institute?
Never played,
no?
but
okay.
enjoyed the music.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you think about when you are getting ready to start creating something? So I want you to think about that. And we're going to listen to that Multi-Pills. And then I want you to come back and let's talk about what's in the minds of you as a producer, putting it together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. Let's see if I can do this right. In My House, hosted by T. Karizma, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
In My House Radio, online 24/7. Featuring only the best techno and house music. And be sure to tune in for Sunday Inspiration, every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get connected, www.inmyhouse65.com.
We're back. So that was Multi-Pills, the Cat Attack mix. So we heard the bongos, the congos, we heard the little acid, we heard a whole lot of trips going on in there, right?
There was a lot of stuff. That track had a little bit of everything in it. It had the acid in it. It had a little funk in me. I was telling people here in the studio who didn't know the sample in there.
What? Can you dispel the myth now?
I don't know. Will I get in trouble?
Nah, I don't think so. It's internet. Everything's free.
Isley Brothers, Fight the Power.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't notice that. I have to listen to it again now. Y'all got that?
We got it.
Okay.
We got it. I don't know. Whenever I sit in the studio with Derek, it's just a combination of everything. It's just the mood. It's just the feeling that I feel. It's like right now the music that I listen to is totally different than what I produce. So it's all depending on where I'm at, where my head's at, what the feelings are. You know, it just all depends.
So what are you working on now? So I know you and Soiree, you guys reconnected. Now in your bag you had your bag is over there now. You were showing me one of the records, the Motor record, and that Motor had Jeff Mills on there too?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a re-release special edition that Klaus got
Yes.
from Derek, and he just he didn't remix it. He just did something with it. He wanted to put out a special edition or
All right.
whatever. And
So what's
he
happening?
put me on Jeff Mills and me on the same record. And Jeff Mills I've known for a long time, but to put him on the B side, putting me on the A side was enough for me to appreciate it a lot.
Yeah,
That was nice of Klaus.
for sure. So what are some of the things that you're working on now?
When I get a chance, I'm in the studio. I still get the studio at the house, so I've been working on a few tracks, but it's kind of hard. I'm waiting for Derek. Things have changed since last time I put out a record, so I'm hoping to put out something real soon.
What do you mean by it's changed?
The vinyl. I mean, everybody's DJing with machines and computers. There's no more record bags. I'm a vinyl guy. I'm a vinyl-holic. I'll never give it up.
They still exist.
And they will.
It's actually coming back. No, they kill me with that. It's coming back. Like they say, Detroit's coming back. Like we went somewhere. Like we all packed our bags and we went
It's
somewhere.
just the feel. Vinyl is so much different than digital. I mean, you feel it. I'd rather be a part of it than just to put buttons. Like these, what do they call it? EDM?
Right,
These DJs?
right.
It's not the same.
Yeah, you can't really, I don't know what they really hear in their headphones.
My music comes from the inner me. It's not like pushing buttons that somebody else already sampled.
Right, exactly. So are you going to start back a DJ world tour? You going to hit the clubs again?
We'll see if everybody likes any of my new tracks. I wouldn't mind doing it.
That's good. That's good.
It would be fun.
So
I had fun that night that I saw you.
Oh, you killed
Derek
it.
let me take over the turntables for a little bit. I had no idea what I was playing. I haven't bought a record in probably 12 years.
Wow.
And, to sit there and play music I don't even know and just to play with it
Yeah.
was fun.
I know you played a song in that night. I was like, wow. It was Beat My House by Paul Johnson. I had to ask Drive. I'm like, what is that? And it sounded so much like, now that once I got to know who you were, when I heard, like, that sounds like something you would make. So it's like, yep, I can see why you played it that night, because it had your vibe.
I've always liked Paul Johnson, though. Paul Johnson is nice.
Yeah, definitely. So, you're back. You're getting ready to start making some music. So what are some of the concepts that you think that you're going to create?
I don't know. How am I supposed to come up with that?
I was just asking a question.
Concepts, I don't know. It's just whatever I feel. I hope it comes out,
You're going to get in that room and stir up some magic?
It's all up to Derek. Derek, are you listening? It's up to you.
Really? Why? So tell me.
Because he's my engineer. It's
Okay.
easier when he understands me. That's why I love doing music with Derek.
Okay.
I can sit in a room with him and tell him what in there and push that and do that and put that on top of that, and he just knows what I'm talking about. Most people will say, huh?
Okay.
So Derek is, the best engineer.
All
and
right.
He's a great DJ, and he's a great producer. So
Definitely.
I mean, it's just fun working with him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy too.
He just doesn't have the time.
Yeah, we know.
Time is
Doesn't
everything.
exist. Yeah, this is true. So let's talk about. I'm gonna wrap up with you, and we're gonna go into another track by you called "Mushroom Love."
Okay.
So I know that's you can you tell me
That was
one.
Produced by a friend of mine in California. It never got distributed.
Okay.
That was on Evolution Records, but it never got distributed.
Oh, so whoever owns those,
They're lucky to have it. It's a red vinyl. It was a special edition red vinyl. So there aren't too many copies of that floating around.
Wow. Oh, and we're going to hear it on here. Wow, that's so cool. So what were some of the thoughts? I always like thoughts. See, I'm a thought person. So what was in the mind? Because
Mushroom Love?
Yeah.
Think about it. I know my son's watching, so I can't say.
Okay. All right. Okay. It has something to do with dinner.
Yeah, exactly. A little sauteed mushroom.
There you go. Getting ready for some spaghetti sauce. I got you. So look, we're going to check that out. So how can people reach you?
Facebook, DJ StAndy.
DJ St. And that was the thing. DJ StAndy. I thought there was another person
There's
besides
somebody
you.
that's using that takes you to, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Is your picture
capital
on
D.
there?
It's a picture of the city.
Okay. All right. Because I
So
was
you'll
like,
know.
that's not him. So spell it out because it is another StAndy
Capital
song.
DJ ST period ANDY.
Okay. All right. DJ StAndy, a.k.a. Motor, as Klaus called you so affectionately. I appreciate you, and good luck to your re-evolved career. I look forward to hearing what you put out, and I know the listeners and your diehard fans, I'm sure they'll be glad to hear what you putting down as well, too. You have any last-minute shout-outs, highs, buys, and thank yous, or hallelujahs to anybody? No.
I don't know, just the family. I know they're watching, the wife and my son, just hi, and everybody else, and look forward to some cool tracks coming out in the future.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks
He
for
has
having
been
me.
in the house with me. Thank you again. Got that Detroit on the shirt. That's what's up. So let's get off into the second part of this. Coming up now, we're going to listen to Mushroom Love, and we're going to hear a little quick commercial, and then we're going to get into my man Karizma, all right? Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can do the buttons right.
In my house with Tina. Thank you for having me, Tina.
Thank you. Is that it?
Yes.
Yay! All right. You want to say something? What you want to say? He's tempted to pick up the mic. Oh, okay.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available. If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
In My House Radio, online 24/7. Featuring only the best techno and house music. And be sure to tune in for Sunday Inspiration, every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get connected, www.inmyhouse65.com.
You are In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. This is T. Carlita live from Hills Barbershop on 7 Mile in the neighborhood with my man Karizma from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Wow, you about to rep it and rip the TV bar tonight, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something.
All right, so let's rap for a few minutes. All right, so let's talk about now charisma. It has a certain meaning. Is that why you're charisma?
Well, no. How I came about charisma was this. I was in high school, 11th, 12th grade, and I had a hip hop group, and my name used to be really whack. I used to call myself Justin Human.
Justin who?
Justin Human.
Okay.
Because I used to sing, model, dance, all of that stuff. So I pretty much did a lot. So I obviously couldn't travel with that name. So I thought of like my personality, which is I connect with everybody, from drug dealers to the punk rock crews to, just everybody in high school I connected with. So I figured, you gotta have some type of charisma to have this type of camaraderie with people. So I took the name Karizma and stuck with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I noticed I've been kind of paying attention to you a little bit, and my first charisma experience was through a mix by our DJ here, Bruce Bailey. How Fly This Life Is. That was my very first charisma experience, and I have been like, wow. So tell me a little bit about how that came about.
How Fly This Life Is was from my second album, The Upgrade. And that track was basically a homage to a group I like, Basement Jacks.
Okay.
They made a track called Fly Life. And I know any DJ who's worth their salt knows about that record. So that was just my take on it, and I wanted to not make it so hype, but make it kind of a groove, of not so much of a banger. So that was just my take on the record, and that whole experience for that record. I think I was angry. That was my angry album. I think when you're an artist and you make albums, they go through different periods in your life. My first album, I was young and fresh. My second album, I was angry. My third album, it was more, I've grown up now, and this is where I'm at. And my recent album, Wall of Sound, was my coming back, because I wanted to stop doing music, because I felt like I didn't matter anymore, or I wasn't making a difference. And I think if you in something, if you just going with the water, you're not necessarily making a difference. You're one of the numbers, but you're not taking it somewhere so it can last longer. So my thing has always been to, put people onto new things and try different things, because I don't make house music. I try to make good music, period. And I play good music. I never, fit in a box. I don't like playing a certain type of music. I like playing all types of music if it's good.
Right.
So, with that, with that album and these things, it's just growth. So every time you see an album or something from me, that's me growing.
So let's talk about the D, not the D that you're wearing, but the D. And I inboxed you on Facebook, and I asked you, I was like, is the D about the D? And you kind of told me, it meant something else. So explain to people that may not know where the D, what the inspiration behind that was.
Well, the D came about, it was on my first album, and at that period, I had lost my grandmother and a lot of things, and I just felt like in a deep, deep abyss. So the deep, or the D, that's what it stands for, the deep, or the deepness I felt when I made that track, or how I felt. It was just a really, really, really sad place in my heart, and I felt I had to put it out musically. And it fit for the album, because everything on the album was pretty uplifting, and that song is probably the most, kind of down part of the album. But it was how I felt, and that's the way I make music. If I feel it, you're going to feel it. I never do any music where it's just, I'm just doing this because it's hot, or because, it's the thing to do. It's because I feel a certain way. And I'm not really so much of a talker. I just talk through my music. So that's how the D came about. It stands for the D. And I appreciate that guys from Detroit think that it's about, about Detroit. But, my love for Detroit runs deeper than any song, man, because I have friends here, that I really love. And as you can see, we got people in the background, and Ray Bone has been in my corner since I met him, and a lot of the Detroit cats, Rick Wilhite, Moody, Bruce, so many people, you yourself have been supportive, so I just love coming here. So for me, the D is more than that, I can't make a song that encapsulates what I feel.
Right. So some of your early inspiration. So I did a little look up here, and according to Wikipedia.com, Twist This, TWIST. So what's up with that? Was your first official?
That was the thing that broke me out.
Okay.
That my first record that broke me out, and the story on that was it's really simple. Twist This is basically a track I made out of another well-known song called Cloud 9 from Donnie. And at the end of the record, he says Twist This. And, when I used to play the record, he used to be like, how come nobody messes with this part? Like, he is killing saying Twist This. So I made an edit that just kind of elongated him saying Twist This. And then all the DJs around started making the same kind of edit. So I said, I'm going to do one better. So for my birthday party, I premiered, this track I made out of Cloud 9, and it went on to become, something really big for me. And, I never guessed that it would do anything, because it was just something I made for myself. So
Okay.
really happy about it.
And I listened to it today. I was like, wow, that's really hard, man. That was like really hard. So let's talk about, let's fast forward now, the Beats and Bobs series. So I was like, oh, Beats and Bobs, Beats and Bobs. So that's exactly right. The beat hits, you bob. So is that where it came from?
Well, it's not so much of that. It's more of as a DJ producer, we all have records that we play of everyone else's, but we have these special little things we do for ourselves. And, after a time, they start stacking up and people ask for them. So I decided, instead of just keeping these things for myself, start putting them out and let people have them, because, it does no good just sitting on your hard drive. Or me, I'm not selfish, so I don't want to harbor this music to myself. But, I just decided, hey, some of these things should come out and not just sit there being old. So I'm starting to release a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
A lot of this stuff is, a combination of stuff that I'm doing now, or stuff, spare the moment stuff, or stuff that I did ages ago that, just never saw the light for some reason or the other. So
Okay.
they're just beats and kind of tools that you can use in your set. They're not necessarily songs or, what I would call hits, but just things to keep you moving.
Got you. So what's life like for you at home? What outside of, I know you spend like gazillion hours in studio and mixing. What do you like to do when you take the headphones off and unplug the speakers and unplug the amps? What do you like to do?
I am a movie buff, and I used to be a chef before I really got into the music career. So I'm a foodie. I like to cook. I like to read as well. Go out to art museums, these types of things, and, just kind of really chill and get into my cultural stuff, because, I'm an artist, so it's always good to be around other creative things. So between music, food, and art, you get to be creative, and nobody gets to tell you what to do, so I like that.
Right.
I like that freedom.
Cool. So what's on the schedule when you leave Detroit?
Back in the studio. I have to finish a remix for quite a few people, so I have to finish something for a good friend of mine in Russia, Lafar. I have something to do for Moose T, and then I'm gonna take a break, and then I'll take care of my mom, so I'll be taking care of her. And that's pretty much what Chris Clayton will be doing, a.k.a. Karizma.
There you go. Well, look, Karizma, Chris Clayton, a.k.a. Karizma, K-Tronic, all of that. I appreciate you so much, and I'm excited to see you do your thing live tonight.
Thank you.
And I will have the cameras rolling. I'm going to get all your good sides, okay?
Oh, man.
And
I don't have one. I've been looking for a long time. Thank you.
Oh, I can find it. Trust me. Welcome to the D.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
You got some
I really
shout-outs?
appreciate you.
Shout-outs?
No particular shout-outs, man. Everybody, thank you, man. I really appreciate it, especially everybody here in the D. Because I have to put this out there. Y'all do know y'all really, really close to be more people. So y'all really need to come check us sometime.
All right, y'all heard it.
Baltimore and Detroit are like this. And y'all don't know this, but y'all are.
Okay, well that's good to know. Y'all heard it here live in Hill's Barbershop. T. Carlita in my house, walked away from the crib for a little bit just to get out on 7 Mile. He really came to Detroit. Wasn't no 8 Mile, the stuff you see on the Ray-Bone tell him. He in Detroit now.
I ain't scared either. This is home, man. This is home.
There you go. All right.
Peace. Love you.